I have the Voron AE back at the Big Salmon Peak garage. We're going to grab a log trailer and get 2 loads of logs over here and take them through that portal. That's probably the closest way. But I'm also going to grab another truck, the Voron D. It also has permanent diff locks like this one, and I'm going to grab another trailer for it also. I'm going to pull these logs the long way, but it's probably a lot quicker than doing it the other way, because it seems impossible coming out of the woods from that other log station. If we hauled it from that other log station, we'd have to go through a lot of rocky territory and probably wouldn't be able to tow for very long. We wouldn't be able to convoy much. I'd have to bring more fuel out there too. I'm gonna grab that Voron D. The main difference between this one and the AE is this one is bouncy compared to that one. I mean, it's pretty bouncy. I guess it probably uses a little bit more fuel also. I'm not gonna bring these logs across those rickety old bridges over here beside the swamp. I'm just gonna go around the long way, and that's gonna be easier to get 2 trucks with 2 trailers from the log station to the gateway. I don't want to bring out that log train if I don't have to, so I'm just gonna take the smoothest road I can. We're just gonna make a log train and convoy most of the way. You can move a whole lot faster empty than you can loaded, so getting down there should be pretty quick. Shortcut between the poles. Let's jam it into high before we hit that rough spot. That keeps it from bogging down too much. Of course, if you was in too rough of an area, you wouldn't be able to just throw it up in the high because it would stall out. You just have to put it in a low plus sometimes. Of course, low plus isn't really too much slower than high. I guess I had to take the long way to get to the log station because it's going to be our last time on this map, most likely. Unless we have to come back for some kind of an upgrade or something. It's much more fun to tow in high speed on an icy road than it is to not be able to tow across some rickety old bridges and go through some deep water. We're still going to have to go through some deep water, but it's not going to be any rickety old bridges. I'm just gonna stop and top these off on fuel, whether they need it or not. You can't take off and high. I can't convoy around this curve. I probably could, but it would be too tight, I think. I'm gonna just drop it here and refuel it, and then we'll hook them back up. I'll just take this to the other side of that windy little road. I'm just gonna drive it like I stole it, but I won't be able to do this coming back with a load. This would be a good sport, trailer drifting competition. Holy smokes, it's pushing me. Okay, we'll convoy from here. Let's go ahead and top this one off. Let's see which one of these trucks are faster around these curves. Here's an example of what happens when you don't shift it into high, going through the rough spot. It would have been quicker and high. Would have had a little bit of wheel spin, but it would have kept going. Then you could just put it back into auto when it smooths out. The AE is faster. I kind of figured it though because this one's a little bit more bouncy. It squeaks like a rubber ducky. Okay, let's go get some logs. The good part about bringing these two trucks as a team is that they both have permanent diff lock engaged. The diffs are engaged permanently. Driving on the asphalt and low plus would cook the differentials in the Voron grad. Diff lock in high gear just glides across these rocks with ease. I gotta cut through this chain link fence somewhere down here in this parking lot, through the trees, then we'll be back into the swamp. I'm not messing with those railroad tracks unless I have to, so we're just gonna have to wiggle through these trees, get back down into the swamp there on the regular road. This has to be done one truck at a time. I'm not gonna come through these trees on the way back. I'll probably just come around the bottom side. I probably turned in here the wrong way on this trip, but at least we're not loaded. And we're not gonna go back over those rickety old bridges. We'll just come right back through this way, but not go through the trees. I do have more fuel sitting out here, so we don't have to worry about being low on fuel. Here's the road through the swamp. We'll convoy from right here. Log trailers do not do well with trees. If you get one snagged, you have to call in the TUS 420 to pull it loose. Unless you have something decent to winch to in the right spot to pull it away. Well, those two stumps are the only thing that kept me from just turning right. I'm gonna have to take the same path as the AE took. My trailer was jackknifed and it was trying to flip me over. It's a good thing it wasn't loaded. Okay, let's get back on the road. It's going to be a lot easier to bring these logs from this map than to be bringing them from the map that they're going to, because those are up on the mountaintop and they're in some really rough terrain. That probably would take a lot longer. There's a pretty smooth road up under all this water. The second trailer still haven't touched the water yet. We're gonna have a long log train. We might get our wood wet, but we'll get it there. The water's all the way up over the fenders. That place over there looks like a shortcut, but it's not. It's full of rock and you just couldn't do it with a load. You definitely couldn't convoy a log train through it. It's a slow go through this swamp. That's why I have so much fuel sitting out. I have one sitting not too far ahead of us. You know, if we did go through those rickety old bridges going back, we'd have to also go through the barricades. If you hit those the wrong way, they'll tip you, even if you don't have a load. Yeah, I'm coming back this way. There is no way I'm going to try going across those rickety old bridges. It takes a long time going through this, but at least there ain't no rock to get stuck on or cause you to flip over. getting a blizzard. Our turn is just 3 more power poles away. And we'll stop there and get some fuel also. We already used about a half of a tank since we got fuel at the last stop. I'll have to swing this pretty wide to cut that turn. We're almost out of the swamp. My trailer's tipping over. I'm just gonna top these trucks off again. And I'll move this one on up around the bend and we'll convoy in and get that wood. This should be far enough. This truck used up a little bit more fuel than the AE. Okay, let's get topped off. Let's get back. This may be a little bit tippy with lard. Let's go get it. I'm gonna go around the right side of this because you get more traction there. long as we avoid these stumps here, we'll be okay. I guess I need to drop the other truck. Okay, I'm going to move this one out of the way and load the other one. This should be good enough. Let's grab 2 more and get out of here. Now we have a log train. I'm just going to take it right between the trees here. I believe it's going to fit. This road looks a little tippy. As long as it don't tip over. This will be our last trip through this swamp. I'll just go ahead and top these trucks off on my way through. That should reach. We'll probably use over half of this getting to that other fuel point. It uses a whole lot of fuel going through this swamp. This will have to swing pretty wide to get away from that power pole. We may have just got this one stuck. Let's detach that other truck and see if it can go on its own. There's nothing to winch to. It's stuck pretty good. I'm just gonna switch trucks and lead with that other truck. I'll have to get pretty far ahead to hook the winch to it. When I leave this map, I'm probably not going to miss going through this swamp. I hope we can get enough traction to pull it out. It came out with no problem at all. Our load should be a little bit lighter since it's floating. We definitely got the wood wet. We could cast out a fishing line on our way through here. We might catch a catfish or a turtle. If there wasn't a bunch of giant rocks in it, we just turn left right here. It would be a little shorter. Takes a pretty good while to paddle through all of this. We've already used almost 20 gallons of fuel. You can get a long ways on land with that much fuel. The Voron D is doing pretty good in the lead. I might just lead with it for the rest of the way. We're close to getting out of here, but it takes forever. We have a whole lot of wet wood. I could get out and kiss the muddy ground. You can see just how bouncy this Voron D is right through this area here. It ain't too bad in the mud, but it's pretty rough in the rock. I'm just going to take a left right here. We just have to go through here one at a time, though. It's getting dark on us, though. I'm going to change the time. That should get us through there. You just have to dodge a couple little trees here. Now we're rock crawling with a double loaded log. Any of these Voron trucks are serious trucks. It's not going to turn tight enough to hit this in one go. This Voron D might be just a little bit bouncy up here. I'll leave it right here and we'll convoy for a little ways. Let's see how well the AE can handle that same task. This one don't turn as tight as the D, but it's not really a bad thing. This thing has really good handling on an icy road. Let's see how good this one does the rock crawling and turning around that steep curve. Much smoother. Too tight to make the turn. The Voron D turns just a little bit deeper than the AE does. We'll convoy all the way up to the bottom of that icy road. We definitely have a log train here. This is rough terrain for this Voron D. We're about to cross this one at a time again. This is about as far as we can convoy until we get to the other end of this windy road. Well, let's get the wheels hot. We're doing the slow drift. You can't do this without chain. I'm gonna take it on down here around the curve, fuel up, and wait for the convoy. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the e-brake. This thing's dry on fuel. We'll convoy from here. Let's see how well the AE can do it. It's trying to understeer. I think it's trying to pop a wheelie. Maybe the Voron D does better with logs. I don't know. Coming up that hill, this thing here didn't really want to turn it because it was trying to pop a wheelie, I think. That Caterpillar CT680 will pop a wheelie with you in a heartbeat with a load of medium log. The Voron D is doing such a great job, I'm just gonna keep leading with it. We've got a lot of logs. We can roll in high for a little while. This might be a tight turn to tow through. It might be a little bit tight, but I think we can get this log train through here. We got through that straight stretch pretty quick. That looks even tighter than before. I'm trying to keep it as slow as it will go and high without stalling. I had to take a look at it. It's doing good. Oh my goodness. We better get out of high gear before the other truck crosses out. Now it's safe to get some speed. I think we need to go across the bridge, but I'm going to make sure. Yep, we're crossing the bridge. I have some fuel right up here at the gateway. I'm going to top both of these off. Even though this one only used 12 gallons, I think we're going to need it on the other map. I'm going to get that other truck up here and refuel it. This one used 12 gallons also. All you have to do is hook a winch to it and you can pull it through the portal with you. Or the gateway, whatever you want to call it. Flooded foothills.